This is your meeting minute for the Select Board September 29th meeting. A Phillips Exeter politics class attended the meeting, filling up the room to its absolute limit. The meeting began with public comment, introducing Silas Richards, who expressed concern regarding the Complete Streets implementation, approved to the master plan in 2018.
Our new bicycle and pedestrian master plan, shaped by over 800 community survey responses, makes clear that residents overwhelmingly want safer and more connected infrastructure. Exeter cannot afford to keep deferring action. Every major roadway project is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to create a safer, more equitable street for all Exeter users.
Very well said. There was a warrant article in the last election. I cannot promise that this will be on the next agenda.
Okay.
But we can, before the end of the year, bring an update as to where we are with that.
With public comments closed, Nico invited the students from PEA to ask any questions to the Select Board.
How would you reflect on nonpartisan action in the Select Board compared to partisan action in the State House?
The House is divided. People don't want to talk to each other, and a particular group is strong-arming the rest of their party. So it's even harder. I have friends that I know would vote with me, but in the end they don't. The difference here is that we do talk to each other and we do argue and come to a consensus typically.
Then, the chair invited the Exeter Tree Committee to give an update on the town's tree inventory. Town Sustainability Planner Kristen Murphy spoke highly on the current state of Exeter's tree life and the importance of tracking trees.
So let me just talk a little bit about the dashboard that we now have. This lives on our website. This dashboard has what percentage of our trees are in good condition, what percent are poor or dying or have maintenance needs. So 54% of our trees are good currently. That's kind of scary. It tells you that we need to be paying a bit more attention to our street trees. This can help us plan where to plant new trees.
Next, interim town manager Melissa Roy approached the board in order to give the first update for the proposed first draft of the 2026 town budget, which marks a very difficult year for many parts of the town's many departments, with major increases in the town's debt service, collective bargaining agreements, and reserve for insurances, totaling a 12% total budget increase respectively. The town departments were tasked with maintaining a similar or lower total budget to prior years in order to help counterbalance these major increases.
This year, our general fund for FY26 is being proposed at $27,547,562, which is an increase of 12.64% over FY25. When we're talking about our tax rate, the municipal portion of that is about 23% of what you pay in your taxes. So what are the major general fund budget drivers for FY26? So number one, our debt service, police and fire substation that was approved last year. That bond is $1,664,479. We have our Linden Street Bridge Rehabilitation Project for $175,715, and our Public Works Fuel Island, which was $137,158. These increases to our general fund represent 53% of the increase for this year. Last year, we renegotiated successfully 3 union contracts. Those increases represent about 17% of the increase for this year. We are continuing to have a hard time finding frontline staff in DPW, police, and fire. The third major driver for FY26 would be our reserve for insurances. The decision was made to put in a 20% reserve so that we weren't caught blindsided. Unfortunately, that's 20%, and that's pretty significant. So again, this is another 17% of the overall increase for 26. The 12.64% increase looks pretty daunting, but when we put in the requests for all of our departments, you'll see that almost all of our departments were either under budget or level funded or right around what they came in last year.
This is not exclusive to Exeter. First of all, just to retain the staff that we have and not have to cut services to the public is a major goal of mine. This number is shocking. when you first see it. But when you peel back that onion, these are all things that, I think we as a board are incredibly appreciative of the support that the voters have given us over the past couple years, because this is not a new song we're singing. We've talked about the increased expense in healthcare, which is driving up these health insurance. And I think 20%, when I look at some other communities in neighboring states, it's going to be even more. But for now, we have to make sure that our town functions and that we keep and retain our valuable staff.
From there, Melissa went over the general fund bond articles for the year, with most notable being the return of the street sweeper, the only article from last year that did not pass.
I'd like to do some clarifying. The reason that the street sweeper is important is we have a permit that we need to keep our outtake into the river and our nitrogen reduction. And what it does is by pulling up the debris and leaves and everything and not letting it go into our stormwater or into our water treatment, it reduces the amount of nitrogen into our program. So in summary, we know this is a challenging year, and we've put forth a budget that is true to what our taxpayers have supported at the ballot. If all of the warrant articles that we just discussed that were coming from taxation were to be approved, we would add an additional $426,988,000 for a total general fund budget of $27,974,550. If everything were improved for the warrant, would be a 13.55% increase.
To see a more in-depth discussion regarding the proposed budget, you can head over to the October 1st Budget Recommendations Committee meeting, where Melissa presented the proposed budget as well. The next meeting will be on October 14th. See you there.